This is DD India and you're watching Express News, a program where we bring you top 100 news of the day. I'm Tanvi Taneja. Let's begin. President Draupadi Murmu presented the Prasar Bharati National Service Awards for the year 2022-23 to 40 National Service Scheme volunteers, program officers and units at the Rashtrapati Bhavan on Monday. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar will inaugurate the Aravali Summit 2025 today, hosted by the School of International Studies at the Jawaharlal Nehru University in collaboration with the Ministry of External Affairs and the Chintan Research Foundation. The international conference themed India and the World Order Preparing for 2047 is being organized as part of the School of International Studies' 70th anniversary celebrations. The Indian Navy commissioned INS Androth, the second anti-submarine warfare shallow watercraft, on Monday at a ceremony at the Naval Dockyard in Visakhapatnam. INS Androth is the second anti-submarine warfare shallow watercraft built by the Garden Reach Shipbuilders and Engineers, Kolkata, with 80% indigenous content. It enhances littoral defence and joins Arnala, Nistar, Udaygiri, Nilgiri in the self-reliance drive. Preparations are in full swing for India's 93rd Air Force Day to be celebrated on October 15th. The full dress rehearsal took place at the Hindon Air Force Station on Monday. India and the European Union will hold the 14th round of Free Trade Agreement or FTA negotiations from Monday in Brussels. India's expanding economic strength and its Make in India initiative are drawing greater interest from European companies, which view the country as a key partner for growth, jobs and investment. According to a new Federation of European Business in India survey, already over 6,000 European companies operate in India, creating over 3 million jobs. The European Union remains India's largest trading partner, with goods trade reaching 120 billion euros, ahead of both the United States and China. EU President Ursula von der Leyen and Prime Minister Narendra Modi have already set an objective to conclude the deal by the end of 2025. The next round of ASEAN-India Trade in Goods Agreement review begins today at Jakarta's ASEAN Secretariat, aiming to boost trade and streamline tariffs. Union Minister of Commerce and Industry Piyush Goyal is visiting Doha for the meeting of the Qatar-India Joint Commission on Trade and Commerce from 6th to 7th of October. Union Minister Piyush Goyal mentioned the Ek Ped Maa Ke Naam initiative at the Indian Embassy in Qatar, backing Prime Minister Modi's climate initiative along with discussing trade and inclusive growth. Piyush Goyal also paid floral tributes to Mahatma Gandhi statue at the Embassy of India at Doha and planted a sapling promoting Prime Minister Modi's climate initiative during the trade talks. The 20th edition of FICCI Higher Education Summit 2025 was organized in New Delhi on Monday on the theme Higher Education in a Transforming World, Bridging Borders, Building Futures. Road Transport and Highways Minister Nitin Gadkari participated in the event, where he also released the FICCI EY Parthenon Knowledge Report on future-ready campuses, unlocking the power of AI in higher education. Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath felicitated sanitation workers at a ceremony organized as part of the Swachhata Abhiyan on Monday. Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar inaugurated the 3.6-kilometer Blue Line via Zero Mile today, featuring coaches adorned with Madhubani art. Public operations will start on Tuesday. The Election Commission is announcing the poll dates for the Bihar Assembly elections, with reports suggesting that the exercise will be held in fewer phases this time. On to business news now. The Indian equity indices ended on a strong note, with Nifty above the 25,000 mark on October 6th. The Sensex at the Bombay Stock Exchange jumped 583 points to settle over 81,000. Indian rupee ended flat at 88.79 rupees against the dollar on Monday versus Friday's close of 88.78 rupees. Oil prices climbed over 1% after OPEC Plus announced a smaller than expected production hike for November. Brent crude thus rose 80 cents to settle at $65.33 a barrel. Gold prices hit a new record high, crossing $3,900 per ounce as investors flocked to the safe haven metal amid fears of a prolonged US government shutdown and expectations of further Fed rate cuts. Silver followed suit, surging on global exchanges, trading at $48.27 per ounce on COMEX, up 0.6% or 30 cents. Bitcoin surged to a new all-time high, crossing $125,000, up nearly 2.7%, reaffirming its dominance as the world's largest cryptocurrency. The Japanese yen weakened sharply against the dollar, its steepest fall in 5 months, as Sanae Takaichi emerges as the frontrunner to become Japan's next prime minister. The France's stock market slipped on Monday as Prime Minister Sébastien Lecornu resigned after a month in the job. The CAC 40 index of blue chip stocks was down more than 2%. Greece's economy is projected to grow 2.4% next year, driven by strong tourism, domestic demand and investment, according to the country's 2026 draft budget plan. On to international news of the day. Israel and Hamas will hold indirect negotiations in Egypt on Monday amid hopes for a possible agreement on ending the Gaza conflict based on Donald Trump's ceasefire plan. US President Donald Trump has promoted a 20-point plan aimed at ending the fighting in Gaza, securing the release of remaining hostages and defining the territory's future. Israel and Hamas have agreed to parts of the plan. Hamas on Friday accepted the hostage release and several other elements, but sidestepped contentious points, including calls for its disarmament, which it has long rejected. Welcoming Hamas's response, Trump said that he believed Hamas had shown it was ready for a lasting peace. He told Israel to stop bombing Gaza immediately, but its attacks on the enclave have continued. Speaking to reporters ahead of the Israel-Hamas talks, President Trump sounded an optimistic note, saying that he and a lot of other countries surrounding Israel have had some very good meetings with Hamas. Meanwhile, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said that the responsibility lies with Hamas to fully accept the peace plan. A day before the conflict's second anniversary on October 7th, Israelis gathered at the Hostages Square in Tel Aviv, praying for the return of the hostages. Many in the crowd sat in silence while others wept, joining chants. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky slammed Western allies for their lack of a real response to ongoing Russian attacks on his country after Moscow launched more than 500 missiles and drones overnight. While the Rosneft-controlled Tuapse oil refinery in Russia's southern Krasnodar region was targeted by Ukrainian drones overnight, causing a fire at a building for security staff, which was quickly out, as per regional authorities on Monday. Ukraine's overnight strikes hit Belgorod, damaging power lines, leaving 5,400 without electricity. Governor Gladkov reported that power was restored to nearly 34,000 consumers as attacks disrupted Russian border regions. Further, Russia's defense ministry reported intercepting 251 Ukrainian drones overnight amid intensified cross-border attacks. In the US, Trump officials warned of mass layoffs and GDP hits as shutdown persists, with no talks despite stalled CR bill. Parks closed, furloughs mount, Fed eyes rate cut amid data blackout. Democrats demand Affordable Care Act subsidy extension as the shutdown hits the 6th day. Trump has planned permanent federal worker firings. No talks. Parks close. Essential staff is unpaid. Meanwhile, US President Donald Trump said that federal worker cuts are taking place right now amid the ACA subsidy impasse, as unions have sued over Trump's plan to fire many federal workers in a shutdown. The US Senate is set to vote on the failed House Continuing Resolution and Affordable Care Act bill, needing 60 votes amid 53-47 GOP edge. Only 3 Democrats crossed the aisle as failure. French Prime Minister Sébastien Lecornu and his government resigned hours after Lecornu announced his cabinet lineup in a major deepening of France's political crisis. The far-right National Rally in France has immediately urged President Emmanuel Macron to call a snap parliamentary election. The hard-left France Unbowed said Macron himself must go. The death toll in Indonesia's East Java Islamic boarding school collapse has risen to 54. The rescuers are probing the shoddy construction as at least 13 students are still missing. The announcements for the Nobel Prizes have begun. Medicine and Physiology Awards are expected, with appetite regulating hormone research favored. The announcements will continue through October 13, spotlighting global scientific breakthroughs. The 2025 Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine has been awarded to Mary E. Branco, Fred Ramsdell and Shimon Sakaguchi for their discoveries concerning peripheral immune tolerance. We're heading for a short break on Express News. We'll be back in just a bit. Stay tuned to DD India.
He's the first Indian to travel to the International Space Station. Group Captain Shukla, welcome to DD India.
Thank you so much.
What kind of preparation, mental, physical, emotional or psychological, went into your travel to and from space?
When you travel to space, you are essentially going and living in a place where life should not be.
What kind of adjustments, to come back to your point, did you have to make to be able to live and work in space?
Blood shifts up to your head becomes bigger. Your heart slows down because it doesn't have to push blood to your brain against gravity. All these changes happen. You don't feel hungry initially few days.
Really, you spoke to Prime Minister Modi of India during your time at the station. It would have been a proud moment for you, isn't it?
You imagine yourself being on the International Space Station, and you have your flag in your background, on your back, and you're speaking to your country's leader, and I think there is nothing more proud.
Welcome back. You are watching Express News on DD India. I'm Tanvi Taneja. Let's resume. In West Bengal's Darjeeling district, the death toll in the devastating landslides has risen to 20. Rescue teams continue operations amid the challenging terrain. Flood fury persists in Bihar's Kosi region as rivers flow above danger levels. Road and rail traffic remain disrupted due to waterlogging. Heavy rainfall lashed Srinagar, submerging several parts of the city and sending temperatures dipping sharply. All schools across Jammu division remain closed on October 6th and 7th following IMD's forecast of heavy to very heavy rainfall. Amid adverse weather conditions, the Vaishno Devi Yatra has been suspended from October 5th to October 7th. A fresh spell of snow has blanketed Gulmarg, Rajda Top and the Pir Panjal range, transforming the higher reaches into a winter wonderland. Himachal Pradesh's Rohtang Pass and Dhauladhar ranges received the season's first snowfall, bringing a sharp drop in minimum temperatures. In Tibet, hundreds of trekkers stranded near the eastern face of Mount Everest have been rescued after a blizzard struck the region. In Nepal, heavy rains triggered landslides and flash floods, killing at least 49 people and damaging vital infrastructure. Typhoon Matmo slammed into China's coastal provinces, bringing destructive winds and torrential downpours. Thousands of devotees gathered at Prayagraj's Triveni Sangam to take a holy dip and perform rituals on Sharad Purnima. The day is believed to bring spiritual blessings. Gujarat's Vadodara hosted the 25th annual Divyang Garba Mahotsav for differently abled participants. The festival was organized to promote inclusion and joy. The Marwar festival in Jodhpur celebrated Rajasthan's rich art and culture, highlighting the BSF camel contingent marching from Ghantaghar to Umeed Stadium. The Bui Shuan Phai Award celebrates deep love for Hanoi through art and ideas. Launched in 2008, it continues to honor cultural contributions. Cam Tan village, located in Da Nang city of Vietnam, has been included in Forbes 2025 list of the 50 most beautiful villages in the world. The village is recognized for its enchanting natural beauty and unique riverine culture. Vietnam's ancient city of Hue is celebrating the Mid-Autumn Festival, offering visitors a glimpse of traditional festivities. The event features lantern parades and music performances. In Vietnam's Con Shi weaving village, artisans continue to preserve the age-old craft of weaving bamboo, rattan and plastic baskets used by farmers and fruit vendors. Vietnam's Hanoi has rolled out electric garbage carts to ease workers' physical burden and boost waste collection efficiency across the city. Across Vietnam, young artisans are reviving traditional craftsmanship, recreating heritage lanterns and crafting miniature versions of iconic cultural items. High-end smart products are driving a new wave of consumer demand amid China's 8-day combined National Day and Mid-Autumn Festival holiday. People are celebrating the Mid-Autumn Festival in China as well, with creative mooncakes blending local flavors and cultural symbols. Shanghai Wild Animal Park held birthday celebrations for 8-year-old giant pandas Shui Bok and Quan Jin and 6-year-old Kong Kang. The celebrations featured birthday cakes and decorations at the zoo. Chinese scientists analyzing samples from China's Chang'e 6 mission have uncovered a surprising thermal divide. The far side's mantle appears significantly cooler deep within, with basaltic rocks crystallizing from lava at around 1100 degrees Celsius. Hong Kong will step up patrols at a UNESCO Global Geopark for the rest of the National Day Golden Week break after hordes of tourists flooded the place, with some trampling on corals and starting fires. Vietnam is scaling up co-processing in cement kilns to tackle non-recyclable plastic waste, reduce coal dependence and advance its circular economy and net zero 2050 goals. On to some entertainment news now. Indian film Kantara Chapter 1 continues its unstoppable run at the box office since its worldwide release. The film has earned over 235 crore rupees gross in the opening weekend. Veteran Bollywood actor Deepak Tijori bagged his 7th Best Actor award for his powerful performance in the short film Echoes of Us at the Barcelona International Film Festival. Indian actress Rashmika Mandanna left fans in awe with her energetic moves as the first track of her upcoming drama, Thamma, titled Tum Mere Na Hue Na Sahi, got released. Janhvi Kapoor and Varun Dhawan star of film Sunny Sanskari Ki Tulsi Kumari has been Underwhelming in its extended opening weekend, the film earned over 30 crore rupees since its release. Bollywood actress Shadwari Wagh has signed filmmaker Ali Abbas Zafar's upcoming yet untitled action romance, in which she will be starring opposite actor Ahan Pandey. Actor Karan Thakur has reprised his role as Farooq Ali in the much-appreciated latest season of the espionage thriller Special Ops 2. Indian actress and filmmaker Pooja Bhatt took a walk down memory lane as she reminisced about the moments from the making of the musical drama Sur, the Melody of Life, on her social media. American DJ Sarah Laundrie joined David Guetta as the second headliner of the Sunburn Festival 2025. This is Sarah Laundrie's first ever appearance in India and at the Sunburn Festival. Guitarist and co-founder of the English band Oasis, Paul "Bonehead" Arders, announced a temporary break from the band's reunion tour after being diagnosed with prostate cancer. Singers Lana Del Rey, Sue Bin and actor Coleman Domingo attended the Valentino Paris Fashion Week show on Sunday. The stars briefly posed for photos as they entered designer Alessandro Michel's show. The organisers of the Lanka Premier League announced that Indian cricketers will feature in the tournament for the first time when its 6th edition begins on December 1st. The 6th edition of the Lanka Premier League will run from 1st to 23rd of December, featuring 24 days of action-packed T20 cricket. India beat Pakistan in the ICC Women's World Cup in Colombo to maintain a perfect record at 12-0 despite a glitchy performance. Bangladesh clean swept Afghanistan 3-0 in the T20 International Series in Sharjah. Former West Indies World Cup winning player Bernard Julian passed away at the age of 75 in Trinidad and Tobago. He featured in 24 tests and 12 ODIs. In badminton, Lakshya Sen will continue his quest for the first title this season at the Arctic Open Super Badminton Tournament beginning in Finland on Tuesday. While Kidambi Srikanth and other Indian shuttlers aim to make deep runs at the Arctic Open Super Badminton Tournament. HS Pranoy will miss the upcoming European leg of the 2025 BWF World Tour in October due to injury. India Under-17 women's football team has been named for the 2026 AFC Asian Cup qualifiers scheduled from October 13th to 17th in Kyrgyz Republic. The 12th edition of the World Para-Athletics Championships concluded in New Delhi. Indian athletes finished 10th overall with a record haul of 22 medals. Defending champion Yannick Sinner retired from the Shanghai Masters midway after suffering a leg injury in his third-round match. Novak Djokovic battled through to the Shanghai Masters last 16 with a 4-6, 7-5, 6-3 win over qualifier Yannick Hanfmann. Amanda Anisimova brushed off a second-set stumble to beat Linda Noskova 6-0, 2-6, 6-2 in the China Open final, winning her second WTA title. On to football, Erling Haaland scored his 9th Premier League goal of the season to earn Manchester City a 1-0 victory at Brentford. Sevilla thrashed Barcelona 4-1, ending the champions' unbeaten start in La Liga and denying it an opportunity to return to the top of the table. And that's it in this edition of Express News. Thank you for tuning in. Namaskar.